Let's go. Oh, my goodness.
Or they do it.
I can't wait.
Go.
Let's go, baby. Friday night at the DNVR Bar with the fellas.
Let's go.
Friday night with the fellas. What is up, everybody? And welcome into Studio A.
Studio A, let's go.
Let's go. We bike.
We back,
Let's go,
baby.
baby.
We are back. Back in the
man.
new and improved. It looks more or less the same. It's not like we changed that much. We added a couple different little new pieces of decor, some things here. But for us, you guys don't realize this set's actually twice as big.
Oh, man. We got so
noticed
much
it.
room. We can
Dude,
spread
I could
out.
Spread out. So much room for activities.
I know.
Over here.
Oh, man. See, look, now I can show off my kicks.
You can't actually put them up on the table. Strip them up on the
I don't
table
have
here.
to
You don't
anymore.
even have to.
You
Just
can
look at
see
them down
'em.
here.
You can
Some
see 'em now.
fresh fours, man. I'm telling you, a good pair of fours. They really stand out.
Oh, yeah, they're beautiful. Also, you guys were super, super good upstairs. It was the bubble. Upstairs was the bubble.
Oh, crap. We're
Yeah,
missing
now
shots.
y'all are back down
I'm
here.
Anthony
I gotta see
Davis.
It
how
was
y'all are
cramped
gonna
up
be.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I'm just going to pull a hammy and miss the whole year. This
Yeah.
sucks, man.
We didn't do anything but just straight pod all
Yeah,
day.
it's so
Podcast
true.
all day long.
Guys, we have some stuff to get to today. Some game notes. Very interesting game notes. I'm excited for it. I was not excited. I was dreading this game. I'm not going to lie. Then I saw the game notes. Came through. I got re-energized. I'm very excited. We've also got some questions that have gone unanswered in preseason. We still have some questions. I also have a couple shocking stats. Some shocking stats for you. And, of course, this guy over here is going to give you some bets. We're presented, as always, by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Download it now so when we get to that final green little dot down there, you can bet along with us. But look I got Dev. He's got the fresh kicks, but he's also got Nirvana.
I mean, it's my favorite band.
It is.
It's my favorite boy band that I've ever.
Band. Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just glad to be back with the fellas.
Yeah. well-
R.I.P. Kurt Cobain.
R.I.P.
man.
I know that's been tough
A
on you.
legend.
Yeah.
Over here, the man with the wind in his hair.
I'm in a pretty normal outfit, all things considered here.
I'm not going to lie, dude. You're pulling a Jokic here.
Yeah?
Unshaven.
It's still the preseason, man.
Preseason.
Wait until Wednesday. That's what I'll say. Wait until Wednesday.
I'm telling you, man, the Jokic, there's some photos that have come out of him for this game. His hair's so long. He hasn't shaved.
he needs a cut.
He's definitely in the preseason.
He's got an appointment on the
bathing or
calendar
anything
for
else.
probably Wednesday.
Nuggets are in the Bay at Chase Center ahead of their final preseason game. Guys, we only have 3 hours left of the preseason. Once we're done with that, we get to move on to the actual season. I can't wait for it. Little weekend to rest up, and then we hit the ground running.
Yeah.
What are the game notes, though, Harrison? What are you hearing out of Chase Center?
Well, let's go over who's playing tonight. Jamal
Please.
Murray is not playing.
Man, that sucks.
It does suck. But Bones Highland is playing.
Hey!
Nikola Jokic is playing.
Hey!
And the rest of the Nuggets starters are playing. Do you want to hear the Nuggets starting lineup?
Oh, I can't wait.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, that part I forgot.
Aaron Gordon.
Okay, so far
Michael
so good.
Porter Jr.
Crazy, he played in all preseason games.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay.
Bruce Brown.
I like it.
Brown at
I
the
like
one.
it. Here's
Second straight start at point guard for Bruce Brown.
So I like it. So Bones is back, but he's not starting. And I know a lot of people would say, okay, Bones, he's back. There's no point guard. I'm telling you, I loved what I saw out of them. And more important than anything, this specific matchup with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry playing?
Yes.
So Steph Curry, Klay Thompson playing?
Yes.
Jordan Poole playing?
Yes.
So with their guys playing, I kind of want to see what Denver looks like with extra defenders on the court. As much as I would love to see Bones and Jokic and MPJ, that's fun. Not this matchup. And honestly, I feel like we'll learn more from this. We'll get some Bones Jokic minutes tonight, I'm sure. But I'm excited, Dev, to see these guys again.
Yeah, I think that it's like perfect because you bring in a Bruce Brown for situations like this to see how he actually gets to play against these good guards. And now he gets to play it with the starters. He gets to play a lot of minutes, and it also is going to be a tune-up game of sorts, especially. The Warriors are clearly taking it as a tune-up game, but Denver is going to take it as a tune-up game. And they also get to tinker with lineups. Like, that has to be a big thing that they had in this, is just to see how much they could use Bruce Brown in these different type of lineups. And now it's not just offensively, but see how the offense can flow when he's in the game with the starters as well. So I love it.
Yeah. The Warriors, they've got Steph, Clay, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney starting.
That's their squad.
Oh, no,
So
wait.
Squad.
You said Draymond Green.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah,
he is back.
You could say he never left in many ways.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, really, that's like shocking, right? Like he was going to take some time away from
He did. He took a couple days.
Couple
And he's
days
back.
off.
preseason.
Yeah.
play it off at least. Like, I know he wasn't
know.
punished in any way, like, by the league. They said that they were going to, like, leave it up to the Warriors. He wasn't fined or anything like that. They just fined Tom Brady for, like, kicking at a guy that it doesn't even go to the guy. But, like, how is this, like, he just gets to go right back?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Also, Klay Thompson hasn't played at all this preseason.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing tonight.
So
the Warriors are treating this like a dress rehearsal.
And not only that, Harrison, like this Draymond Green incident, it's easy. I think the Warriors, I've said this before, Steph's vibes are too strong to let any negativity, and somehow Steph's vibes are just like the greatest of all time. But, this thing could drag on. It could. And I'm not saying tonight, like, the Nuggets go out there, but this is one moment, I think, for the Warriors where they want, before the season begins, to say, like, let's go out there, remind ourselves who we are. We got all our guys playing, and let's feel good about ourselves and have some momentum going into the season. I'm not saying Denver can single-handedly stop that. I'm just saying that the Warriors, I think, are going to approach this game seriously for a quarter, a half, whatever it may be.
I think so, too.
And in that way, I'm kind of excited for the Nuggets that they're going to get to throw out this lineup. I'm so encouraged by what I saw from them in the Clippers game on Wednesday. I want to see it again now.
Yeah.
This is like, all right, one time, maybe you were just lucky. Maybe you just would. Tonight, against the best team in the NBA, let's go out and see if you can get some stops. I think it'll be cool.
Against the best team in the NBA and JaMychal Green,
Oh,
who's coming
man.
off the Warriors bench, our old buddy.
Man, have you been following Twitter.com?
I get on there every now and then.
Warriors fans love J-Mike, man.
Yeah, we were like that once upon a time. When
Well-
he gives it to you when you first start out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's like,
He's got some fire quotes ready
this
to
dude
go.
does
Yeah.
everything right. How could any team get rid of this type of guy?
Well, last game, JaMychal Green, he started, had 20 points, shot 4 or 5 from 3 in 20 minutes.
4 or 5 from 3. Unbelievable.
Classic
All right.
early season JaMychal Green.
He's going
All
to play
right.
hard as hell tonight, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm curious to see it. What are some other things we're curious? Is there any other notes?
That's all I got for notes.
Any other? What are you curious to see tonight? Like, what are you zeroing in on, Dev?
Well, now it changes everything. I really
Right.
want to see how they're going to play Draymond Green and Jordan Poole together. Like, I really think that that's going to be a thing that they try to say, ice under the fridge. Is that what they say?
Yeah, it is ice
And
under
just
the
go off
fridge,
of that.
yeah.
But also, like, they're going to
That's
have
what
to
they
try
say.
to play hard and, like, have chemistry, while Denver is just going to play their, like, style of basketball. So, like, even though this is not a real game, this is going to be like a real game for them. So, like, how do they respond after having their best game in the preseason and trying to mesh and get themselves together? I do hate that Jamal's not playing, because I think it would have just added a little bit more, and this would have been, like, the best dress rehearsal. But, like, how does Bruce Brown, like, play in a situation like this and navigate, like, having to be the point guard? So he's learning on the fly, but he's brought in for defense, which is just natural for him.
Right.
So I am excited to see how he defends and the rotations that he could get with Steph Curry, and also you could switch on to Klay Thompson at times and things like that. So, like, he's a weapon that Denver just hasn't had as a starting guard, and I'm excited to see it.
So you're excited about the defense of KCP and Bruce Brown. I mean, look, the Nuggets have played the Warriors a lot over the last several years. Not that you're going to learn definitively tonight, but it'll be nice to just see, do those guys give them a little bit more problems? I mean, I'm curious to see that. What about you? What are you zeroed in on?
What I'm zeroed in on has to do with Bruce Brown starting, which I'm happy about, because I want to see Bones Highland and hopefully Ish Smith on the bench again.
Okay.
I'm so intrigued by Ish Smith now.
Yeah.
As we're here about to end the preseason. I didn't think I'd be here. I didn't think I'd be this intrigued, but now I am. I'm wondering if we can get some more looks, Ish and Bones playing together on that second unit, and if that group can find some success with those guys kind of initiating things. I think it's a really interesting look. I think it can give opposing bench units problems. So I want to see those two play tonight. So I'm happy Bruce Brown's starting, because I think that means we're going to get that.
I do too, and I'm excited for it as well, because I want to see that Ish Bones duo. I want to see if that's the lineup you go to. Maybe they're going to try something else. That second unit now gets a little bit more, I would say, informative. I think that what we're going to see tonight with the guys available, is DeAndre Jordan available?
Think so.
So if you get all these guys available, we kind of get a better insight now into who it's going to be, who this rotation might be. So I'm definitely interested in that. And then for me, I want to see Michael Porter again. To me, Golden State represents the single worst matchup for him specifically on defense. To make up for it, he's got to be either better locked in defensively. It's going to be a real challenge for him, or he's going to have to just make some shots again, like really make some shots. I have some shocking stats for you on shot making that he's had so far. But, I always just want to get more and more looks at Michael Porter, see the way he plays with Jokic. And then lastly, Jokic is playing tonight, right?
Yes. Is he going to shoot?
Is he going to shoot? Is he going to score? What's his approach like tonight? Is he trying to be more aggressive? I have to think that at least one game he wants to go out there and see what it's like when he, pushes the envelope. Is that tonight? We'll find out. Lastly, before we move on from game notes, Jamal Murray basically has played 15 minutes this preseason. He hasn't played for a week. What's your level of concern? The fact that he's going to presumably be available on Wednesday. I don't think this is a thing that's going to keep him out of real games. But, they're playing it cautious, and so playing it cautious means rest him. How do you feel about his first real minutes outside of the 15 minutes he played in the first preseason game? How do you feel like it's going to go for him now that it's opening night as his first run?
I mean, I understand them being overly cautious with Jamal. He hasn't played in a long time. He finally plays and, something happens. So, he stiffens up or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So you're just like, hey, you're not feeling right. We told you. If you're not feeling right, we're going to pull you. It's not like the Nuggets are just an overly cautious team. Michael Porter Jr. has played in every single game thus far. So it's really on Jamal, hey, he's openly communicating that I'm just not all the way right now. I think it's great that they're pulling him out. I wish that he would play more, but also at least they're going to take the word of whatever he's going through and say, hey, you can sit it down. We're still going to be fine. There's no reason to just play him to play him. If he's not feeling like himself, no reason.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be something that keeps him out of the regular season. I don't think it's a serious injury or anything. I think he's fine and probably could play. But I wrote this in Wind Chimes on Monday, and I don't know if this is what the Nuggets are thinking. This is just my take. I feel like when Jamal tweaked that hamstring, got tightness in that hamstring, I feel like that was maybe a little bit of an eye-opening moment for the Nuggets and maybe a little bit of a reset on how they're going to handle Jamal. And I think, again, this is just me, maybe they're going to be even more cautious than we thought they were going to be. That's just the sense I got from what Michael Malone had to say at that practice after that happened in that second preseason game. And again, that's just me, but that's kind of my read on the situation. I just wonder if they're even going to be more cautious.
That's exactly my takeaway from all of this is I just feel like when we talk about can he play 60 games, this is what it means. He probably could play 60, 65, but even if he has just a little tightness here or there, they're probably going to say, hey, shut it down. We don't want to make a small thing into a big thing. And by the way, in the postgame show today, we'll talk about Calvin Booth did an interview with NBA.com I thought was great. He had some very interesting things in there, and he even talked about Michael Porter, and he even referenced, maybe I think he said something about in the past, maybe he's a little sore. He just wants to play. He never wants to sit. He wants to play through things. Now we'll probably have to make him say no, man, look, we're going to take this long view on all of this, and that extends to Jamal Murray. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. We have some questions, guys, that we have answered in the preseason and in training camp, but there's some that are still lingering. Number one, we just talked about, where is Murray at? We don't know. We're not going to know.
Yeah.
I think my expectations, have yours lowered at all for opening night for Jamal?
Definitely. I mean, the preseason, out of anybody on this roster, I felt like it was most important for him.
Right.
And he played in one game pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that he's been very open about his mental takes on the game, and he says he was openly about open about it, saying game time is the only time that I could get those exact same reps.
Right.
He's been doing great in scrimmages, he's done great in camps and things like that, but when he got into actual game action, something bad happened. So does his mind shut down and say, okay, you have to slow down, or you just can't play as hard as you were until you rep yourself up. So I do think that there's a drop on my side of maybe he's just not ready mentally yet.
Yeah. And then by extension with the Murray question is, what does the starting lineup look like? Because this is the bigger thing. Murray, we knew he was going to take some time, but now you start to think about, we don't know what that first unit, they had two stints together basically. They had the first stint where they scored well, but they didn't stop anybody. They couldn't guard anyone. And then they had a second stint where they got some things going, but it still wasn't quite the pop. And so now that's the question is it going to flow? Is the ball going to pop? Is it going to be a lot of Jokic-Murray two-man game? To me, that's a big one. Here's the other big question I keep thinking about. Who staggers with the bench? Does anyone stagger? I unlocked on today. I talked about this exclusively. I might write an article next week about this. I haven't written this type of article in a while, but it means that much to me. The Nuggets can't go 5 in, 5 out. They can't do it this year. They have I'm highest on the Nuggets when I think about all the combinations of players they can put together, the different mixes. The only mix I don't like is all bench. I don't like that, but that's Michael Malone's MO. He always goes to an all-bench lineup more than any other coach in the NBA, and I have statistical proof that I'll probably, in this article, probably bring up. And this is my one thing is, will Malone stagger? I don't think we're going to learn that tonight. We haven't learned that so far, and to me, that's a major question. Do you anticipate that Michael Malone's going to have a 5-bench lineup as a regular part of the rotation?
I think he'll try just because I think he wants to keep guys fresh. But in real games is where you're going to finally get those answers. In those meaningful games, not early on in the season, but like as the season progresses, where you're just like, okay, this is not working. As we know, Malone's going to try a lot of things until it just like something hits and it's not going to hit. So then it's going to be, okay, we have to put a scorer in that unit. Their scorer is going to have to be MPJ. Like that's going to have to be the guy that you stagger in a lot of these lineups, or a guy that can just score. So like Bones is going to come. He's going to be a starter sometimes. If they do this Bruce Brown type of lineup, like maybe he's the guy that staggers. But I think that they have to do it with the guy that can score, and they're going to have to run the offense through. They've shown that it's going to be MPJ and Bones.
I feel like it's just so obvious, especially this year, that they have to. I'm with you. This has to be a thing this year. Last year, yeah, no Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter. It was a weird year, blah, blah, blah. This year, though, like Bruce Brown is tailor-made to play with the starters. He's looked the best this preseason when he's played with the starters. He's been his best throughout his career when he's played with like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and he's been on the floor with those guys at the same time. He's tailor-made to play with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and those guys. Michael Porter Jr. feels tailor-made to play with the bench. It just seems so obvious to me they have the personnel and the depth to do it this season. I don't see why it wouldn't be the direction you go.
Well, the reason not is because it's just not it's a coaching MO. Like you just don't like to do that for whatever reason. And then the other reason, if I do put one out there, is just that you got Bones Highland, you got Michael Porter. Okay, you're going to have to build an all-defensive lineup around those two guys. You're going to have the rest of them there. And, okay, Bruce Brown, that fits. Zeke Naji, that fits. Jeff Green, Davon Reed. Like, who are the other pieces there? You start to get to a place where you're kind of like Adam Ish Smith. You start to go, I don't know if it makes sense. So that would be one reason. But nonetheless, the pros outweigh the cons.
I think so.
Denver has – this is a little bit rare. Even though they've had great offensive units before with Barton and Harris or whatever – this is a surplus of offensive talent. I honestly don't think you can get 100% out of Murray, Porter, and Jokic. There's like too much. There's only one ball. There's only so many shots. And
spread the wealth.
So spread the wealth a little bit, and I do think you can get there. And then the last question, unanswered question here is Zeke Naji in or out? I don't know. Is Zeke Naji in the rotation opening night? We don't know that. Maybe tonight will give us a little bit more of a clue.
Yeah, like what we've been seeing like so far in the preseason is like good game, bad game, good game, bad game. And also like the good games are coming when DeAndre Jordan is not playing at all. So like the more he plays is when you're getting to see him play well.
Right.
But when there's the real rotation where they're going to have to play DeAndre Jordan, especially early in the season, is he going to be able to do it in those small amount of minutes? We haven't seen it thus far. Zeke is a player I feel like is going to like they want him in the lineup. They want to play him, and he's going to have to. But it's just like the inconsistency is where it's at. If he could put together, one or two like strong games in a row, so like this is an important game for him, he will start the season in the lineup. I think.
I think the Nuggets have and will run a 10.5 man rotation.
Jesus.
And what I mean by that is that
I think you're right.
DeAndre Jordan, I think, is the default backup center.
Okay.
But I do think there are going to be games where the Nuggets look at the second unit they're going up against and they pencil in Zeke Naji for backup minutes in that game. I don't know what the split's going to look like, who's going to play more. Maybe DeAndre, probably DeAndre at the beginning of the season. But I don't think Zeke Naji is like out of the rotation. I do think there are going to be games where he's the backup center.
Yeah. Man, I honestly don't know what to make of the Zeke Naji situation. I think you're probably the closest to right on it, but we'll see. You guys want some stats?
Yes.
You guys want some statistics? You guys
yes.
have to get into the analytics?
Feed
the
me.
numbers of
you
preseason?
guys and your spreadsheets and your
you guys
graphs
dig in?
and your analytics.
Michael Porter Jr. in the preseason. Last year he shot 40, or the last time he played 45% from three, right? And then I think 42 the year before that. What would you guess he's at right now in the preseason?
I would say 38.
42.
50%.
Whoa.
Now, this is with a game when he went 2 of 11, 1 of 5 from 3. This is
That's
what's
why
crazy.
I think that's the one that's stuck on
Michael Porter had one atrocious game out of 4 and is somehow still shooting 50%
Yeah,
from
that's
3.
insane.
He's 10 of 20. 10 of 20. Now, again, this is a really small sample size. I'm just bringing this up to say, not really hidden. We've talked about it every show. The guy can score, man, and he can score at an insane clip. His effective field goal percentage, I think, was somewhere around 58, 59%.
Not bad.
Which his career is like 62% or something. So even with a game in which he couldn't make a shot, went 2 of 11, he still is at more or less his career average on efficiency.
The wild part about it is I can't remember open 3 from him. Every single one of them feels contested.
He had one in the corner against the Clippers. That was just a no-doubter.
It was a no-doubter. It was such a no-doubter.
He was shooting that thing like before he even got it.
and like it was a no-doubter for like I'm watching it and I was like, oh hell yeah! Before he even shoots it, you're like, hell yeah!
It's like Jokic layup and Michael Porter Jr. corner 3.
Yeah, but like right
no
now,
doubters.
Honestly, he's exploring his game right now. He's coming off of like pin downs. He's like pulling up off of like set up shots and things like that. Like
careful with that word around.
Yeah,
there.
he's doing things right now.
It's a more successful exploration than Zeke's.
I'm just telling you, man. The guy, like, if we did the, I guess his preview hasn't come out. Let's just say we have to predict what his 3-point percentage will be, and maybe we're all low. Who knows? Not quite as exciting, guys. The Nuggets' defensive rating. Where do you think it would rank in the preseason through 4 games amongst NBA teams? Because they are ahead of, who was it? Maccabi.
No, yeah, they're ahead of 2 non-NBA
Adelaide and
teams.
Maccabi. They're ahead of them.
So they have to be. They have. Okay, so
But of NBA teams, where would you think they rank out of 30?
probably really bad. I would say out of 30, I would go with. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. 24. 24th
They're
out of 30.
You already knew this one, so
Yeah.
I'm not even asking you.
Don't
But they are
ask me.
29th. They are second worst in the NBA in defensive rating. Michael Malone, emphasis on defense. Well, it's preseason, guys. Like, I know these numbers get skewed, garbage time, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
these things happen. But
Can we filter out garbage?
even if we did, though, the Nuggets have gotten lit up. So, again, 29th in the NBA in defensive rating. Not exactly an impressive defensive start to this.
Not impressive, but the 30th ranked team is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, there you
who
go.
generally have a pretty decent defense. They're also 0-5 in the preseason. I think the Nuggets are definitely a better defensive team than they've shown.
Yeah.
And despite what coaches or players want to say, I definitely think teams flip the switch when the regular
sure.
season starts, even if nobody actually wants to admit it. I don't think the Nuggets are a top 5 defense. I think they're a top 15 defense, though, now.
Their defense right now is trifling. It
really
honestly
is, man.
so bad because really, like, some teams, like, they could trick you. We talk about that switch and stuff. Some teams take the preseason serious and they like make you think that there's something there. Like the Rockets, for instance. You're like, okay, this is a fun, entertaining team where they're at least setting the tone for the year. Like they're gonna suck, but they're gonna have some big scoring games. So like that's what you like get to be excited about. Denver's just taking like the whole like everything off on defense, and then they're saying that they want to be a top 10 defense, or they're saying these things of that's where they want to focus this year. But like, when are you going to show it? You can't just turn on a light switch in the middle of the year or just in the season with all of these guys, and their offense hasn't even been special. So like you have bad offense and defense, like it's just not great.
Yeah,
right
I think the reason the offense hasn't been special is Nikola Jokic is attempting one shot per game.
Yeah, and he's also has only played 2 games. So,
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's preseason. I'm not trying to say to read all of that into it, but it would be nice if you had a couple markers that said, hey, things are going well. And by the way, Michael Porter Jr., 125.5 defensive rating in 4 games. That's a good sample size. 125, insanely bad. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's
when he's
not
been on the
good.
court, it's not, some people are saying, well, that's the reserves. It's reserves. Some of this has been starters minutes as well. And you can even just put Michael Porter, yes, him individually, but he's on the courts with starters. So that kind of tells you more or less what the starters have been. Not great. Actually worse than the average. Again, these are preseason things. And then lastly, here's a crazy one for you, Harrison. When Jokic has been on the court this season for 2 games, the Nuggets have played at a 114.6 pace.
Wow.
This is actually, again, not a meaningful sample size other than just for conversation here. But that is equivalent to basically one Jokic game when he's played, and the pace he usually goes at is somewhere around 98, 99.
Wow.
So they're playing really fast when he's been on the court this year. Is that random noise? Is that something, or is it just something to keep an eye on?
I think it's random noise. They always talk about wanting to play faster, and they haven't this year. So, like, maybe they don't even know that they're going into this. But they also have different lineups. They have Bruce Brown now in the lineup. They're slashing a lot more. Yoke is not trying to score, so they're not having to have these, like, half-court sets that they usually have to get him going. So now I think it's a lot more free-flowing. They're going through, like, MPJ more, Bones more, who are, getting to their spots a lot quicker. So I think it's just the idea of Jokic not getting going, so they're not slowing down to get in their sets.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be one of the faster teams in the league this season in terms of pace, but some guys have been real trigger happy this preseason. Like Michael Porter Jr.'s gotten shots up early in the shot clock. KCP, if he's open, he's going to fire.
He doesn't hesitate, yep.
Yeah.
Shooters shoot, man. Shooters have to be in that mental zone of, like, no hesitate. Christian Brown, hesitant.
Right.
Affecting his shot. Like, you got to, if you're a shooter, you got to have the, like, I see daylight, I'm going.
I think it's mostly noise.
Yeah, I think it's mostly noise, too, but it's something I'm going to keep my eye on as the team playing fast, and I will give you a couple possible explanations. Bruce Brown has played fast in his career. He's a fast guy. He likes to get up the court. KCP has played fast in his career. Bones Highland likes to play fast. So there are a few players who just in their careers have played fast so far or like to play fast. So maybe there's some guys, then Michael Porter, of course. So maybe there are just more guys that are comfortable getting out in transition in ways that we haven't seen in the past. So maybe that's it. All right, before we get out of here, Dev, we like to gamble on the preseason. I went against you last week. Guess what happened? I lost $5.
That's the problem.
But guess what happened the first two games? I went with you. I lost $5.
Yeah.
Now what do I do? What do I do?
We'll change it around because this one is a lock. I know it's going to hit. And it sucks to say that it's going to hit. First off, we want to talk about going fast. The over-under in this game is 228, so we can see some exciting play.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on the over-under. If I did, it would be an over.
Okay.
I don't think that Denver's going to try to slow them down, and I think Warriors are going to try to light them up.
Okay.
So that just works. What I am going to say for my lock is I have the Warriors -6 in this game.
They're going to win by a lot?
Listen, one team cares. One team is really trying, and they have to bring a guy back in Draymond. We know that Yoke does not care. They also are not going to overplay him to prove a point to anybody. They want to go into the season just ready to play. One team is going to try to show, like, we're the champions. Things are fine over here, even though things are really not good over there. So I just feel like they're going to play their starters longer, and they're going to, like, just try. They have more to play for. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Warriors.
-6. Wow. Blowout loss for the Nuggets. I do think the Nuggets are going to play the end of bench guys a lot in this game. Usually you do that. I mean, Yoke is going to play. I'll bet you he doesn't play in the second half. I would be surprised if he does. Yeah. So we probably get a half of starters. Then you get an extended run with the other guys. I mean, at that point, it's a coin flip, but Dev feels confident. So there you go.
Might be up to Ish Smith if the Nuggets cover tonight.
Man, Ish Smith, do your thing. Actually, don't.
That's a tough one.
That's a scary proposition.
I want to win my $5 back.
Proposition.
All right, everybody, that does it for the pregame show here from Studio A. We're going to be back in the postgame show Friday night, hopefully a winner's lounge. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you on the other side.